All right, everybody. Welcome to the Everything Black podcast. My name is Jaden Halter. Here with three other guests that I'll introduce in just a second. The main reason why we're here, sorry, my name. So my name is Jaden Halter, 18 years old, just graduated out of Frederick High. Moving on to Virginia Tech to study political science. And the reason why we're really here is just we're here to talk about the struggles that's going on in the African American community, especially just for young kids, give them a platform so they can see and get inspiration from other people that have been successful in their respective fields, and just grow and learn from it. And hopefully we can give a uprise to the community. So let's start with the person above me. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name is Joseph. I know Shahid and Jaden from school. I just graduated from Frederick High School. I'm a young Black brand owner / run a brand named Mays Move. My best friend Chitty. We sell clothing, motivational pieces to spread a message of mental health and positivity to the world. I want to expand that. I want to grow it. And I also want to stay in the Black community, build a foundation, learn more. And that's why I'm here right now.
Sure. All right, Sha.
All right, my name's Shahid Parchment. Just graduated Frederick High, friends of Jaden and Joe. We all had TG's class, speech and debate. But in the future, I'm going to ship out into the Air Force. I'm going to do medical jobs. And I'm mainly here because I think the media, there's a lot of things that they try to hide about the Black community to try to keep it in a secret so that, we don't cause conflict. So from their point of view, it's a good thing. But from the Black community, we're suffering from it.
Absolutely. So now on to our special guest for today, actually my uncle. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Jamad Mays, Jaden's uncle, from Jersey, graduated with an accounting degree, but I'm an actor / model.
All right. So today our topic is going to be just success as an African American. I feel like me as an African American, since all of us as an African American, just being since a young age, we were kind of held to higher standards because we had to be so much better. Like we had to get the better grades because if not, someone else could take it from us because we're seen as different. We're seen as lesser. So specifically just success is kind of what you call it. I think for me, my definition of success is just, are you happy with what you did? Did you achieve what you wanted to achieve and then more if that's what you wanted? So just is it achieving your goal? Joe, what is your definition on success?
Definition success is such a vague word. It could be anything, bro. Like it could range from happiness to the amount of money in your account. Like it's such a big term. So, but I feel like success is on the inside. If you feel like you gave everything you had and you pushed through other things you pushed through and you're still happy with yourself, that's success to me. Of course, the main peak of success is I feel like having being financially free. To me, financial freedom is probably if I was getting a definition, that'd be probably my main definition of financial freedom for sure, being free.
Okay. Shai, what about you? What's your definition of success?
I'm gonna add on to what Joe was saying. I think it's mainly about commitment in general. Like if you're not committed to that cause, then you won't be as successful as you want to be. So success just starts with being committed and knowing that, you're gonna struggle, you're gonna fall, but can you pick yourself up and keep going?
For sure. All right. Unc, what about you? What you thinking on success?
I mean, I think you guys all hit on the head. I think it's definitely an inside job. Everyone has their version or level of success that they strive to or achieve. It could be financially, it could be just a small win, whether you actually succeeded in what you were doing. I think the attempt and like you said, like Sha was saying, the the pursuit of it, the commitment to it. I think that's can be a form of success as well. But yeah, I think it varies per person, and there's no right or wrong answer as far as success. My level of success is different than yours and everyone else's. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So yeah, I like you're saying, yeah, like you said, success is just what you make it. Honestly, it's inside job, things like that. So in specifics, obstacles. I guess going to the obstacles. So obstacles in life. I feel like as an African American person, I've been through a lot of obstacles. I feel like through the school system, bad teaching, even just struggles just in the neighborhood. Like you see that, we see in the media all the time with the things with George Floyd and everything that really messes up like your mentals. And like I feel like for like an African American person, seeing that you have to rise, but it's so hard to, with all the pain and suffering that's going on around you, and you're still forced to just succeed no matter what. So I guess the question I want to ask you guys is, do you guys feel successful throughout all your obstacles, and how have your obstacles changed you? So whoever wants to go ahead.
I can go real quick. So do I feel successful around my obstacles?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I feel like I'm really young right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm not where I want to be yet successful wise.
Mm-hmm.
But the obstacles have definitely helped me a lot. My upbringing, moving a lot. I was a military kid, place to place, and this has been the first place where I actually stayed at a place more than 3 years. So that kind of just how I had to move from place to place and make new friends, and just really adapt to my environment. So that those obstacles definitely helped me become a better person, become a more confident person, become a better speaker, become an overall better person. So yes, I feel like the obstacles have really helped me the way of inside internally. But for the first question, I just feel like I'm not where I want to be successfully yet, but I definitely will get there soon. No doubt.
It's that pursuit. I think for me, my bad, Shop, you're about to go.
No, you good.
I think I would say I've been successful. I'm successful in my career or life outside of career. I think, like Joe was saying, those obstacles are moments for us to grow and to learn ourselves and to overcome our shortcomings, our maybe some habits, generational, patterns and whatnot, shortcomings. So I think that's where you want to be. Like that's the trick of it all, like that growth, and then in that growth
Mm-hmm.
will lead to success, whether it's monetarily, whether it's a little bit of happiness, a little bit more confidence. Like that growth lies all that, like the key to it all, unlocking that success in our careers and in our lives. So I think once I then learned that the obstacles was the actual like key into it all, that's when like everything shifted for me, and I then became successful in life and career and all parts of my life.
Yeah, like, am I successful right now? I'd say yeah, because growing up in Jamaica, third world country, and coming to the US, it felt like a blessing knowing that a lot of people don't get this opportunity. But at the same time, because I know what I want to do in the future, I know I'm successful, but I know there's so much ahead to go for. Like when we graduated, I saw a lot of people celebrating and stuff, and I just sat and I was like, damn, I already know what I want to do. It doesn't even feel like an accomplishment. It just feels like one step to the next step.
Yeah, it feels like it's only just the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
you just gotta keep going. It's just the beginning of the real journey.
Yeah. That's why mom tried to tell me a lot too. Like you're just getting started. Like,
Yeah.
When it begins.
Just getting started. But at the same time, like I'll tell you this, my bad.
Go,
I'll tell you this,
like,
from where my standpoint, I don't want to say no numbers, but being 12 years older, y'all can do the math. Like you gotta also celebrate those moments as well. Not that you didn't, but like those are the moments. Like yeah, you're just starting off in your career and in life, but like those are the moments that like those are milestone moments that's gonna push you forward. And for you to be like, I know because I was in that same position as well. I was like, oh, next thing is college, but without really like understanding what I just did, what it meant to my family and stuff like that. Like really taking a step back and like, damn, I did some dope shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
I did some like, no matter how small it is or what you're looking at ahead, like, damn, let me honor this moment and like really enjoy it and celebrate this win. But now, on to the next level growth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like I mean, I have my diploma sitting up. Like I kind of like, yeah, it's the beginning, but I always think of like for a book, it always has to start with a beginning. You always gotta have a prologue. So it's like, you look at that diploma, it's like, especially nowadays, you can see that a high school diploma can get you places that you couldn't get to before. I mean, and Same thing with a college diploma as well. I mean, but once again, you got to take the baby steps first. So starting with that high school diploma and going up. So for you, being in the entertainment business, being an actor, you want to talk about the strike going on, how you're succeeding through that?
Yeah. Sorry.
There was a strike.
Yeah. You want to do that? I don't really know. I know that's more your field, though.
Yeah, there's been a strike. The writers' strike has just been, I forget exactly how long. Forgive me for not knowing the exact number of days it's been. But as far as my union, SAG-AFTRA, we just went on strike, officially declared strike this morning. Thursday, July 13th. So as of now, it's everything is completely silent. Like we can't do screenings, we can't do anything. So this has been kind of happening for a while now, with the writer strike happening first, and now my union. But yeah, man, I think, growing up on the East Coast, in Jersey, and then working in the New York market, you learn how to hustle. You learn how to hustle. Like if you don't hustle, you don't eat. And I don't mean to make it sound like that, but like if you got to really want it. Like you can't rely on your looks, you can't rely on who you can't rely on anything. You got to really want it, and you got to really go after day in and day out. So, I picked up hand modeling. I think we made jokes about that before. Hand modeling. I read a lot, like screenplays, plays, take acting classes, do Muay Thai. I'm pretty much taking this time to like really get back to the grind. Whether it be with just acting, like with scene study and acting in the world of acting, or just like working on new hobbies and like, growing as a human being, which I hope a lot of us are doing during this time. It's kind of like COVID, where it's like everything shut down. We got to figure things out. I know what I did, and I think that worked for me. But yeah, man, just trying to stay as active as possible. Make sure I'm growing and moving in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some days is reading the script. Some days it's like just journaling,
right?
Getting these thoughts off my head. So it's like it. What was that?
I was gonna say that's a really good way to adapt to like your situation. Like really good way. You got to you got no choice. You got no choice. But I got a question for you. So you kind of touched on the fact that you have an accounting degree, right? So how did you end up in acting?
It's a great question.
Oh, man, yeah, seriously, good question, man. I feel like I answered this question a lot. Yeah, so
try to condense it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. All right, so long story short, I was in college for 7 years, some BS. It wasn't grades, but it was like some BS. College for 7 years, and ultimately at the end, like I said, I got my accounting degree. I started in Bloomsburg in Pennsylvania, finished in Bloomfield College in Bloomfield, New Jersey, right outside New York. So in that time, once I transferred back home to Jersey, was taking acting classes back. You walk that back. Getting my undergrad. Once I transferred back to Jersey, my neighbor, I was babysitting his kids at the time, and he's a working actor, Chuck Burks. Shout out to him. And he came to me one day, was like, "Yo, you should try acting." And I was always like a sports guy. I was like, nah, like I'm good. Like I'm a shy guy. Like I'm a sports guy. I'm not that. And thought about it for a little bit. I think I spent some months thinking about it. And ultimately it was like, all right, let's try it out. And we tried, we worked on a monologue at his crib, and that kind of set it all off. He pointed me in direction as far as my first acting coach, and it kind of just snowballed. It's the biggest thing is just taking that first step.
Right.
And the next step will follow after that,
Right, for sure.
Yeah, I think the craziest moment was waking up at 5:30 in the morning to help him with one of his screenwritings, I think it was. And he went over it like at least 10 times to the point where I was like, I'm already awake. I might as well get really into character at this point. That was a really fun experience, a really fun event just to help him, to see him where he is now,
big. Shout out to you for real, because like even though I ain't booked that job, but like you held it down in that moment, bro. Like for real, I was jammed up that morning. That's a fact.
So,
bro.
Yeah, man.
You want to go into kind of like what you've done so far in acting industry, like kind of like your roles and what you've done so far, kind of like the shows you've been on? Things
Yeah, that's cool. So I've done a lot of commercials back in New York. I also worked on City on the Hill show on Showtime. Power. That was Power Book 2, Ghost, with Tariq spinoff. That joined Wu Tang. After that came 2K, where I was a My Player for 2023, 2K 2023. Yeah, that was a wild one. That, and then Rookie Feds, and then most recently before everything, All American Homecoming.
Have you ever had
So
do you plan on having your own show?
Of course. I think like if you ask any actor that question, like, of course, like you're not gonna get like, I mean, depending on if the person's like, you know what, I know who I am, I'm good in this part of the story, being like a number 2 or like a day player, that's fine. Everyone has their level, but like, yeah, you don't train to be, coming off the bench.
Like, I'm actually taking a few classes over at Mount for acting, just because I feel like I have a good personality for it, So I mean, I feel like I'm gonna just give it a try, like you said, that first step. I want to say that first step. I don't want to be no theater, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to be no theater, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah,
I'm not doing that. Nah, look, bro, that's not
there's nothing, there's nothing wrong with being a theater guy, musical theater guy, whatever it is. Like for real. Like everyone has their own lane, and some people kill it in that lane. Like don't sleep on theater, bro. Denzel.
But I know myself though. I know me.
It's true.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not jacking
it. Nah, what you want to do? TV and film?
Something like that. Yeah. Like I mean, I
listen. Open the door for sure. Like the networking you'll get from it. It's definitely.
I mean, for sure. But like, I think. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like you're saying network. I already got my man's right here. Like that's the key right here.
This is like,
listen. Like that ass. If you serious, you don't know how it's gonna happen. One, I honestly never saw 2K happening. I never even knew like an actor could play that. But like, and 2K was almost in a way like theater.
It was,
right.
Almost in a way like theater, but you never know like the steps you got to take to get to like to be that guy.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, no doubt. I like that though. I like taking steps. That's life.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
it is, man. You can't skip steps either.
Yeah, you can't.
So I definitely feel you on that, man. I definitely feel you.
So, Shy, we ain't really heard from you that much.
Bro, I'm just chilling right now, bro. I'm just taking it all in.
I feel you. But just for you, like I know like us three kind of took I wouldn't say the traditional route, but kind of like the educational kind of route of let's just go to the college and let's go give money to these billion-dollar institutions and get our education kind of thing. But you kind of took it a different way and you went into the Air Force. Do you want to kind of like go into how you made that decision and like the obstacles, of course, I know you were going to have to face or you are facing right now?
Oh, yeah, I got you. I remember it was back like we're in Baltimore for a year back in 8th grade. And my parents, they were like, you should join the military. And I was like, hell no. I'm not about to go shoot nobody, bro. That's how I was viewed. It was like, you're just going to go to war.
You got that Call of Duty perception of the Air Force, what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I sat and I thought about it junior year because I was still indecisive of what I wanted to do in the future. And I was weighing my options. I was like, if I can't get a scholarship for college that I liked, because there was no way I was going to get caught up in loans. That's one thing I was going to avoid. Student loan, nah, that was not for me.
It's no joke.
So I sat and I weighed the options. And I started looking into the Air Force. And I started reading it up, seeing the benefits that it had for not only myself, but my family and the people around me. And then I started to weigh the options back and forth. And I think coming into senior year, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be committed to the Air Force. But it was a tough decision because, it's a lot to sacrifice.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
And that's real noble of you as well, man. Like for us, I remember as hell, like, like you said, thinking about your family, like the benefits and like how it could benefit everyone around you versus just yourself.
Right.
At that age, that's a lot to take on,
Very, very selfless.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm kind of losing. Like you said, I'm taking it all in. Trying, everything is coming into fruition. Like I think this is like one of my things I set my mind on for a while long, not like a while long. And I just kind of always said, no, I can't do it because of this, or no, I can't do it because of that. And I always held myself back for so long. And I think just getting here now, seeing you guys, and like, you know, I appreciate you guys so much for, you know, being here with me on this journey kind of thing. And, you know, I think this is going to be a big success for me. Even just doing this, you know, no matter how many views it gets, no matter how many people it sees, just getting to this moment right here was kind of the biggest thing. So, you know, I'm very appreciative. I would definitely be, you know, if I looked at myself from 2 months ago, I think I've made a big change and, you know, became a let's do it now than a let's do it later kind of person.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Procrastination your biggest enemy, bro. That's what I'm telling you right now. Like that shit's a killer, bro. Never procrastinate. Just get it. Like you have to have a plan and set. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you for setting this up, bro. Because yeah, man, I'm trying messed up. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like you only live once. Like you know, what I'm saying? You just do it right now. You know, if you're not gonna do it now, when are you gonna do it? Tomorrow's the biggest enemy, bro. I'm trying to tell you. So, yeah, it's good, but I'm proud, bro.
So, Joe, your obstacles. I mean, a business in high school, started a business in high school with a person. With a person, he was in what 11th grade, right? 11th grade at the time.
Yeah, he's about to be a senior this year. Yeah,
he's gonna be a senior this year. So you know, kind of working that out, and you know, also being with your friend, networking it, getting into the whole school, and you know, congratulations, of course, on that. But what was kind of your obstacles? Because I definitely see the success. I thought it was just kind of I was like, okay, maybe it's just gonna be in our school. I started going out into the neighborhood and things like that, and I started seeing people from Middletown, you know, Oakdale. There were people from our county just kind of wearing your gear and your merchandise with that, and I'm like, wow, like you know, it's really taking off. So definitely, congratulations to you. But yeah, what was your kind of obstacles into your success?
So in terms of the brand, we got a lot of hate. You know, because you know we're both very known people, individuals in our county, of course. And you know, when people see hate, when people see you doing something good, when people see you doing something meaningful, they're gonna hate. It's just a way of life. People don't like that, bro. People don't like when you try to change your life. It's just reality. So like there were some times we would go on TikTok and we'd see like people would send us a video of like people making, you know what I'm saying, videos making fun of us, you know, like blah blah blah, motivational blah blah blah, or like some funny pictures of us. Like I remember one time there was an account that was just posting this, you know. So, you know, it's just like it's that small, low vibrational energy that like you just got to get away from. That was one of probably our main obstacles that we got over. So that was probably one of our main obstacles. And once we got over that, the fact that we realized that people are always gonna hate, people are always gonna talk down to your name. We got onto that next level and we cut all that shit out, and we're just focusing on ourselves and our brand and just that next step in our brand, you know.
That's what's up. Yeah, I definitely see. I think it's just that being envious of someone that's doing great. I think people want to be you, but since they can't be you, they hate that you are you, kind of thing. Right. So that's just how I think that's just how it is, and I think it's a lot of hatred, especially.
I feel like my fault.
No, go.
I was gonna say I feel like a lot of people like. Whenever you start going up, like how the brand's moving up, like as soon as they see you start falling, that's when they start talking about you the most. You know, when you succeed and everybody hiding in the shadows, but then when you start failing, that's when they come out in the light.
Yeah. That with the brand and being an athlete, a successful athlete at that, you know, committed to a good school, that was probably my biggest obstacle. Being an athlete on top of school was a lot at one point, but once I just stopped, I started meditating, I started taking ice baths, I breathed, and I just realized that I can do this, bro. Like I'm able to do this. I'm stronger than what I know, and I'm able to do it. So once I realized that now that I'm thinking about it, that was getting over that hedge, that mental hedge. That was my biggest obstacle. Because it's always mental.
For sure. So going around, I think we're gonna do everybody's gonna give like their top 3 most inspirational people that are successful, that kind of inspired them into, you know, what they are. I'll start with for me, my number 1, LeBron. Honestly, watching
my answer,
honestly, watching him from such a young age, like grew up in a single mother home, just like I did. Watching him, I was never the greatest basketball player, but watching him grow not only his brand, but he also took his friends with him. I mean, his agent, his long-term agent is his best friend, and now look at both of them making millions of dollars together, not just alone. He took, he brought his whole family on for the ride, so watching him do that, like his success is really, really inspiring because like you were saying, Joe, like the hate he got just for being normal, like he couldn't be a normal person anymore. He had to be above average. He had to be extraordinary. If he wasn't extraordinary, it wasn't good enough for anybody. So I think watching him do what he did, also giving back to his community, building his school, he's just such a big inspiration in my life because looking at him, like I was like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I think one of my favorite inspirations is another basketball player. His name is Paul George. So if y'all know about Paul George, he back in like 2013, 2014, he snapped his leg in half. So Paul George is my favorite NBA player, no doubt about it. I just love his game. If you ever watch Paul George, his game is smooth. He can shoot, he can play defense, he's a two-way, he can do anything, bro. He's a dog. So when I saw that, I was upset. I was like, I didn't think it was gonna be the same again. But the truth is he came back stronger, bro. He came back better than he was before. Now he wasn't as quick, but he came back with a better bag. He came back. He can shoot. He can still dribble, and it's the concept, right? He fell down, but he got up stronger, and that's something that I kept in the back of my mind all the time. Just like going through the motions, growing up, he snapped his leg and came back stronger, bro. That just like had to set into my mind, like he's a dog, like he's real. So that's probably one of my best inspirations.
Okay.
For me, this one probably a classic, but I gotta go Martin Luther King Jr. And one of the reasons why I got him on my list is because if you think about it in life, there's people that they just want to live a regular life and stay on that same level. But then you got people who want to go above and want to be treated equally. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of those people. He decided, we're not getting treated equally. I want to be treated equally. I want to live the life that, those guys are living. So I'm gonna drag people along with me. That's the thing that makes you a leader. Not only do you have to have experience in the field that you're gonna be leading in, but then you gotta be able to drag people along with you. And he was able to drag people with him, and he was committed to the cause. He didn't just send people out; he went with them.
There's a few inspirations. You kind of put me on the spot with this one. It's like I'm trying to find like who's the best one. But I think in this moment there's no right answer. I can easily say Malcolm X. I could say sports figure. I could say this, but I think for me Jay-Z. And like I said, I'm sure there's someone who's done a lot more for the cause and for us as a culture, and help move the narrative forward 100%. But I think for me, Jay, just how he's grown as an artist, as a man, as a father, businessman, like all of that. Seeing him go from, and I'm not talking like I know him, but like just seeing as far as like how he's grown from like reasonable doubt, like selling drugs and whatnot, and going straight, going legit, and to now with like 444, where it's like that's he's talking about something, and he's always been talking about something, but I think now it's like he's taking his voice and using it for the cause and using it for greater good versus like pop bottles, fly, luxury kind of lifestyle. And I think that's dope, because a lot of artists are scared to do that. They're scared to use their voice for good, and to challenge us as Black folks, no matter how old or young, he's using his voice for that. So at least as far as how I saw 444 and just some of his moves going forward, with like exactly, but I know what I'm saying. But so I would definitely say Jay for me.
I mean, I think one that doesn't get talked about enough, honestly, when you guys talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, I think he was so key to all of that, like what he did in South Africa and what he did for that, breaking up the apartheid, and like when I look at peaceful, great man. I mean, met Barack Obama, like did so much for his country in general, and one of his like most famous quotes was, be the change you wish to see in the world. And that stuck with me since I think I had a debate for him. It was we had a kind of debate using historical figures, and I got him. And so since I was in 5th grade, I guess you'd say, and no, not 7th grade. Sorry, 7th grade. So since 7th grade, he's always stuck with me. I got to be that change. So whatever I do, I know I have to do it for not only my brothers that look up to me, but there's a whole group of younger African Americans that's looking at boys, girls, all the same, just looking at me to be great because I'm that inspiration. I'm that figure that they want to look up to. So for me, yeah, I feel like right now with this podcast, I'm trying to be the change, because I want the world to be a better place for everybody, every color, every race, every gender, and I think that's the step, to be the change. So for sure.
Absolutely,
big dog.
Sure. All right. So I guess we're gonna get on to the questions for you. Whoever wants to start with the questions, go ahead. Yeah, for you. Yeah.
Oh, I really got all my drinks out. I got all my drinks out. You can go.
Got yours done? All right.
Nah, I can start.
Go ahead.
All right. So
and I'll just bounce
one of the questions that I had for you was like, what was your moment like realization growing up as an African American that why the system is just saying it. Like for example, when I was growing up, when I came to the US, immediately the school system, I realized that there were favoritism towards the white kids compared to the Black African Americans and just minorities in general. Like when minorities would get trouble in class, referral sent into the office immediately. But like when the white kid did it, it was always just slight tap on the wrist.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've definitely experienced a lot of that. A lot of those micro moments of racism and just unfair treatment. I grew up in a neighborhood. I mean, so I was born in Newark, New Jersey. So a lot of just hard upbringing, just gang, sex, violence, all that stuff. At a young age, I lived it till I was 7 years old, and then moved into the burbs, where it was more of a diverse community. So it was I was going to bar mitzvahs, rubbing elbows with different cultures and backgrounds. So it wasn't like a black and white kind of situation. Though you could feel certain moments. But the school I went to was one of the first schools to diversify, or the first school to diversify, desegregate, in the country.
That's nice.
Just awesome history. So it's that's kind of the thing, or kind of the area that the community that I grew up in. But I think the first time was going to a dollar store in that my town of Teaneck, going to a dollar store, and I think I had a bubble coat on, a North Face, something like that, and a guy accused me of stealing. And he accused me of stealing, and I've been there, that's literally my bodega kind of thing, around the corner, I'm always there. So he in a way knew my face, but accused me of stealing. And I was so confused. I'm like, yo, you know me in a way, I don't steal, and also I'm not that kind of person. I don't walk around with that kind of way about. And it just took me, kind of threw me off, and I was kind of hurt. I was very hurt, and I went home, got my pop, and we went over there, and we had a nice little firm conversation. It got kind of intense, but that was the first time I actually had faced that kind of unfair kind of is this racism? Is this not? That was my first time facing that kind of moment in my life.
It's like a welcome to being black kind of moment.
A little
bit.
Shortly after that, there was other moments, but that was a first whoa.
Yeah.
This
was going on. Yeah.
So that was one of those moments.
To kind of piggyback off what Shai was saying, you being in a field that was very highly, dominated by people, white American,
what
talking about, Dolly Parton, talking about Charlie Chaplin, which, kind of those big stars, they dominated film and movies for most of this,
100%.
for a while. So you being a person of color coming into this field, what are some of not only the changes, like of course as you see it's getting more diverse, but what is the biggest challenge for you? Like certain roles you can't get, or just in general, like what kind of challenge do you face being a person of color, being the minority in such a field?
Yeah. It's a good question. Challenges I face. I mean, so now, all right. So some of the challenges is you don't know their intention. Like you don't know these like execs or studios, whatever. You don't know their intention. I feel like now one of the challenges within the industry is everyone wants diversity, everyone wants inclusion, which is dope. Which is like, yes, finally, 100%. But as far as are we doing this for the right reason?
Yeah.
Like, are we doing it to check a box, or are we doing it because this actor won this role? This actor was the right person for this role, no matter what color. I think, I think it's just like you don't know what their intention is behind these decisions. And granted, the actor, we want to work. So are you using that against us as far as like, like just like dangling a role over our heads and like knowing that we want to work, but it's like, I'm doing it just to check a box. I don't really do it because you didn't win it because you're a good actor. You won it because we need somebody to fill this role. We need somebody of color to fill a role, and you kind of fell in the fit the mold. So I think it's stuff like that.
I was just gonna say, I think it was a certain I forget her name, but she's an actor, and she was kind of like they were almost telling her like she wasn't black enough for it, or like they kind of that's the stereotypes that come with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's another obstacle kind of thing, and it's just
100 and it's like you don't like it. I think another one of those challenges, like, are you like they have this stereotype at times, certain offices or certain stories, like, we want you to be more black. You're not black enough. This or that, and it's like, damn, like,
that's all you see.
I just want to be seen for my talent. I don't want to be seen for my skin tone. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, and then like you try to like, damn, am I not good enough? Am I not black enough? Knowing damn, or maybe on the flip side, you already had issues with that going up. Now you got to prove yourself again to, an industry that doesn't really understand. That it would. Also, like I would say another challenge is like, in that same vein is like shrinking yourself. Shrinking yourself to make you fit in this box that they want to fit you in. Like, and again, back to that conversation of, am I too much? Am I too little? Am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? And how can I find a way to fit into this world that they created? Like, nah, bro, like bring your culture, bring who you are, bring your trauma, your scars, your achievements, bring all that shit to the table. Like, that's all, like, that's enough. You don't have to like fit yourself in this box. So I think, like, especially as a person of color, black man and woman, I think it's like those are some of the challenges that we have to face with this profession.
And I think that's just the shit that comes with it, bro. Like, I truly think that's just part
100%.
of the game. Like, being African American, especially, I can't even speak for you, but just all black actors in general, black anything in general, we're gonna go through things. We're gonna go through obstacles, and that's just something that I feel like we just have to live with. You have to embrace it at this point, because if we don't embrace it, how are we gonna go from it? Like, how are we gonna go to that next step? The biggest revenge, no revenge at all.
I agree, but I think it also gets tiring having to be this superhuman, this super being kind of person. Like, you always gotta excel and be top of the class, first in the class, just to have a seat at the table. Like, I understand that. I agree with that, but again, it gets tiring having to be show as the best version of yourself in every moment of your life, because you have this point of view about you.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about it? I actually developed what I just said, that aspect, because I have been trying to show. I'm just so used to trying to show being my best self, right? I'm so used to that shit being on my show, and it just goes so deep in psychology and like racism, and it's insane. But now I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's insane, bro.
Yeah. You ain't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like that's the
He
way.
was
Like
born into this at this point.
you were born into this.
Right.
Your parents
Yeah.
prepared you for this. So like that's your point of view because you were built that way in a way.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even the darkest black though. I'm like light skinned. You know.
Yeah,
You
don't.
know, they really don't. They really don't.
Don't matter,
It
bro.
don't, but in a way it
Bro.
does too. In a way
Yeah.
it does. Sometimes the darker you are, the more you slight it. You know,
Yeah.
especially as
That's
far
what
as
I'm trying
black
to say.
women as well. Like it's disrespectful as hell.
Yeah.
But no matter the color you are, you're always gonna get like hit on. Like it's just
True.
it's
Oh yeah.
Always.
So with that, the problems you said, what would you say to like aspiring, young actors and things like that? What would you say, like, to help them in this business?
I would say a lot. One, I would say do the homework. You know, learn how to read contracts. Learn how to the jargon. Learn like the business side of it first. Because if you get into a position with a manager or a rep, or you get your first contract for a job, like you're not gonna know what the hell's going on. So I think that the better off you are, as far as like the more you teach yourself going into this business, the better off you'll be, because you'll be able to protect yourself in ways if you didn't learn contracts and whatnot, you may not know, and you'd be subject to whatever the terms are. So I would say that. I would definitely say, like me, I grew up playing sports from like 9 years old to like senior year of high school. I kind of relate everything to sports. Like I think as far as actors, like our gym is a class. So always stay in the class. You know, same way if you start working out, you feel like you're not as, you don't got the pump anymore. You're not as lean. You're not as like, as quick. Yeah, you're not as locked in. So I would say definitely stay in the class. Always study. And just start where you are. Like it don't matter if you're like in New York or LA or Atlanta. Like you could be in freaking Arkansas. Like take a class there. See if you like it. Find your way wherever you are. That, and I would say just be patient along the journey. It's not gonna come to you. I think for me it was like I tried to like take mad classes in hopes that I would get there faster. In all actuality, I didn't. Like there was times where where you came to the crib and I wasn't home. I was either in class or working to fund my classes. Like I was on the grind. And granted, I had to do that, but you miss out on key moments in life. That time with your family, that time with friends, bonding moments. So yeah, I would say definitely like make sure you pacing yourself and just balancing it out, because this thing is like it's a journey. It's not a sprint. As the cliche saying is.
So you got another question?
Yeah, I got one for you. So like, what I was gonna say is, would you say things for minorities have changed for the better in today's day and age, in terms of just us having cameras now, right? Like we've seen the Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Zimmerman cases, all those are caught on camera. Do you think the recordings are gonna help minorities move into the future? Because with these videos, it's starting to get shown to the world that hey, it's really not as safe as they think it is. It's just being held in the quiet.
Right. Damn, that's a good question. I think it's a double-edged sword, if I'm being honest. I think it's good. I think it's not good, but I think it's useful to see what's actually happening and some of the conversations that we've been having for years and years and decades and centuries. I think it's good. It's good for that, and also to hold these people accountable, whether it be cops, whether it be shady people in the neighborhood, whatever it may be. Hold these people accountable and get justice. So I think that for sure. But I also think it's traumatizing as hell. You turn the news, and what feels like every other week there's a new shooting or death or uproar or just some sort of racist things happen to us, to our people. So I think it's good. It's not, keep saying good. It works in our benefit to show and to hold the mirror up to America. Like, hey, this is what you've been doing. Now we're not playing that shit. We're gonna hold you accountable for all your actions. But at the same time, again, it's traumatizing to see. It's like you can't even. you can't even like gather yourself before there's something else coming on. There's something like another killing or another moment. That shit is it's heavy on the mental. It's heavy on your conscious.
Yeah, you just be sitting there thinking, are you gonna be the next one up?
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell. Like I feel like since COVID, my perception, before it was always like, it's the cops, but now, everything you're seeing, I've become so almost afraid. Like it's almost like I don't even want to see one. Like even that sudden just jump.
You see one and your heart just drops.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the exact moment. Like I mean, the exact feeling I feel. Like, oh, am I speeding? Oh, am I going even if you go within what is it? A kilometer over the speed limit. Like you're like, oh, let me slow down because like you never know. You're trying to like drive as comfortable as you can. Do everything you can in like the best light because you never know, and you don't want to be another number. You don't want to be another part of the situation.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Nah,
so what would
it'll make you unfair.
No, I was gonna say I remember one of my driving classes was driving down the hill on the local road, right? And it was me and my driving instructor. I think he was from Peru, so he's a minority and just like myself. And as we're going down the hill, a cop car pulls up behind us, and all of a sudden, like going down that hill became so tense in the moment. It was like, damn, if I go over the speed limit, is he gonna turn on the flashers? Is this gonna be the moment? Because we on a private road, nobody else around.
Never know. Yeah.
Never know.
So what would you say? Sorry, trying to lighten up the mood. So what advice would you give to your younger self? Like
me?
Yeah.
The only old person here.
Hey, my younger self is a baby, so
what advice would I give my younger self? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man. I would say give myself grace. Give myself grace. I'm gonna fuck up. You're gonna fuck up. What matters is what you do with it. After that moment, and that's the moment to grow. Versus like, oh, you're not good enough, or you're not the guy you predicted you are. So yeah, give myself grace. Be patient with myself. Be patient along this journey. Just like I said, I wanted it like this, and end up hitting burnout. And you don't want to be in burnout because you got nothing left. You just need to be on timeout for a second. So I would say give myself grace, be patient, and enjoy it as much with your family and friends. This life. Not even just about the work, but just the older you get, you realize like life is real. And tomorrow's not promised. Not to make it dark. I know you're trying to lighten it up a little bit, but like it's real. Like you really want to cherish these moments with your family and friends as much as possible. And really, for me, like really do this with my family and friends. See those smiles on their faces, take them with me as far as I can go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's my why.
Okay. Yeah, it's always good to have a why. I think that's one of the most important things. If you want something, you have to start with why. Why do you want it? Why do you want to do it? Who are you doing it for? That your why is really how you get anything done. That's your inspiration to keep you going. So always have a why.
Yeah. How about y'all? Y'all ask me mad questions. If y'all can go back and give yourselves, y'all younger selves some advice, what would you give at this level when y'all at this age in life?
I think I'm gonna go something recent. So not recent, but yeah, a little bit recent. As far as the college process, I think I would have jumped on it a little bit earlier. I would have maybe told myself, hey, your grades are gonna matter a little bit more than you think they are. Don't coast. Like Joe was saying, procrastination is your greatest enemy. I think there's some classes that I easily could have had an A in that I got a B in just because I was like, what's one little assignment gonna do? And now that I look at, I'm like, I think I still got to a successful level as far as school, but I definitely think as far as what I wanted, I definitely could have got it. I think if I would have tried a little bit harder. So I would tell myself, just try a little harder,
Try harder. Yo.
Real quick. Go. I'm gonna come back to that. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
When you're touching on that fact of school, bro, I just lucked out, dog, because I had a 2.4 going into my junior year. and I got it to a 3. So let's just, it was really COVID and like freshman year because I wasn't giving a shit about school. I need that time, I'm not going to lie. But then that my whole entire reality shifted, my whole mind shifted to something different. So that's crazy. But to be honest with y'all, some advice against my younger self is just be open to everything. There's some opportunities that I feel like I've taken a lot of my opportunities, but everything, no matter what it is, you should just took it. I can't think of a fact or a time where like I didn't take one, but I know that there's times where I should have just taken them. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. What do you lose? You don't lose anything. Just take it. That's all. Just do it.
No, that's facts. I gotta go straight. I gotta go right off of what Joe was just saying. Take opportunities, because you were talking about growing up in New York and having to hustle and stuff. I mean, like, I feel like growing up, I had a lot of opportunities where I could like hustle something off, and I never took advantage of it because I wanted to stick to this straight route. I was like, I'm fully committed to doing one thing instead of being more diversified. Mm-hmm. So I definitely tell my young self, just be more diversified and open to the field around you.
Yeah, of life.
I agree. Bro, real talk. Like, honestly, I keep saying, like with me with acting, like I never thought acting was in the cards. Like never ever thought. But just saying yes to life. It didn't make sense in that moment when my neighbor came to me and was like, "Yo, try this out." But if I didn't say yes, I may not have been where I am now.
Right.
And even if I said yes that moment. And then there were other moments after, just while I was getting my undergrad in accounting, moments after where I'm like, nah, this sounds about right. Going into corporate America, making steady money, whatever, that sounds about right. And there was random moments that just kept me along this path. And it made no sense at all. Like, I kid you not. And again, just saying yes to life and being open to exploring it.
That's God, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you. So, like, in that same vein, like, I want to ask you the question, Jay. Like, you talking about, like, I wish I would have, went back and maybe studied more or whatever, and I could have got an A. Like, yeah, you definitely could have. But like, if you did, like, I think where you are now possibly changed different or could like slightly change. True. But also, like, I think we're exactly where we're supposed to be along our journeys.
No doubt.
Like, not to get all like philosophical and shit, but I think like like that you not getting an A is somehow some way led you to this moment, and moments after that is gonna like shortly follow.
I completely agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't know about the religion aspect, but for me, it's just like everything happens for a reason. God puts everything in your life for a reason. Like, these people, y'all are in my life for a reason. Things happen for a reason. So
yeah,
like you said, like if I had to give myself advice, that's what I would. But honestly, like you said, I'm fine where I am. I think where I am today is where I'm supposed to be, and I think I'm on the right journey. So
no doubt. All of us are.
Definitely. No, I think something. I was gonna say, I think something else that a lot of youth never focus on is just adversity in general.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, adversity can make or break a person. Like, we've seen it with just in terms of like sports, guys coming out the draft. LeBron, adversity, he made himself into what he is today. Adversity never broke him. But
he could have quit.
He could have quit. He could have gave up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for a lot of kids nowadays, adversity is such a strong thing. Because I mean, like, for me in 5th grade, I had a teacher. Like, going into 4th grade, everybody had a good grade, and then like in 5th grade, my grade fell down to like a 67%. Like, I straight up flunked that class. I gave up on it like halfway through. I was just never prepared to face that adversity that I had in that class.
Yeah, I think it's not about how you fall; it's how you get right back up after that fall.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It's made the move right there.
So, anybody got I got one more question, but does anybody else have another question? Any other questions?
Nah,
I'm good.
I would just say my last one. This is all you. If you could start any film, any movie, any show, number one, what role would it be? And number two, what show or movie or whatever it is, what would it be?
Damn. I would definitely. I'm inspired by a whole bunch of things. Like, there's a lot of projects I would love to be a part of.
Atlanta being one of them. I don't know if y'all ever seen Atlanta.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that joint's fire, yo. One
What
of
is
my favorite shows.
What is it?
It's a show on FX and like FX.
Yeah.
And
it's FX.
it's just like it falls around this Atlanta rapper Paperboy and like his crew, and like just they go through like absurd like moments, and it's just like really it's like artsy. It's like, I don't know, I want to say like a hint of like Black Mirror, but it's really not. It's just like really creative as far as like how they're talking about certain topics and how they like feeding it to the audience.
Right.
It's like it'll make you laugh, but it'll also make you think really hard, you know.
Right.
But it'll make you laugh at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's and like I just think it's done really well. The writing is cast perfection. So that, but I would think, no, as far as a film, like I would love to work on a feature film. I love drama. But I think like I don't know if you guys ever seen like Queen and Slim.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Queen and Slim, yeah. It's all good. Queen and Slim it's a love story. It's also like a tragedy in there. The celebrity, the cinematography is beautiful. The script is amazing.
So would you want to be the lead, or?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
my bad. Yeah, I want to be the lead in like a love story, that has a message, you know. But it's like I said, there's a whole bunch of things I want to do. There's like I want to do a love story, like a rom-com kind of thing. I also want to do something gritty, like Free State of Jones, True Detective. I also want to do, like I said, Atlanta. You know, something a little bit more creative, funny. But I think overall, I want to work with something that has themes, that has something to say, and it has a message, and that pushes the conversation forward. You know, so all of that wrapped in one.
Yeah, I think you kind of you touched on that. I think like the shows that you said, a lot of them were, you know, you see in a lot of African Americans starting to get their shine, you know, in Queen and Slim, Atlanta. I mean, even for you, 2K, a lot of the people in there were African American, you know, like you don't see that as much as you know. So for you to see, like, you know, it's starting to come into the gaming community, you know, it's going into, you know, starting to go into entertainment, things like that. You know, it's a big change. It's definitely very popular. So
it's the culture, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
The culture. Like Hollywood wants the culture without really like bringing them in. They want the culture without us. It's like, nah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, come with yourself, but we gonna make you. We gonna do
it in a more easily digestible way, or like something that everyone can understand. Like, nah, this isn't meant for everyone. Like,
that's true.
The ones who get it, you know, if they're open to it, yeah, like, you know, I think now that the stories are now shifting to like, nah, this is a Black story, that maybe maybe people will understand, but if not, you know, this is my story. This is what you know, my upbringing.
I think they started doing that, like with the Emmett Till movie. You know, a lot of those. I think they just made a Harriet Tubman movie. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I know that one was kind of iffy, but a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people have. You know, that it's just like, this is who we are. We're gonna start, like you said. It's like you said with the whole camp, like Shy was saying, and then what you said about, you know, having the cameras now. America, this is what you did. We're gonna show you. You know, we're gonna let the world know this is what's going. I think that's what we're doing now. We're letting the world know. You know, like, you know, so
like we're gonna show you. We're also gonna show you, like, this is how we're gonna show you the good and the bad, and just as a culture.
Yes,
how we live our life on a daily. That, again, you may not understand, it may not resonate with you, but like, I'm telling my story. Get out the fucking way.
Yeah,
you know,
we aren't all the same at all. As much as they think we are.
With slight differences, but yeah, we are.
Well, we are, but I mean, you know, they all think, oh, he's got to be a thug because he has, you know, like you said, he has a puffer jacket on and he's walking into the store. You know, that's not.
Yeah, that's the thing with Black people in the entertainment world. Like, when they drag you in, they try to keep that stereotype to you. They always try to keep it.
It's always like, I feel like it's always every show where it's like, we have to kill. Well, you know, we have to kill the Black person first, or we have to get the Black person out first, or the Black person has to be the crackhead in the show, or the Black person has to be this.
Or
they have to be the craziest person. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like that's why I was saying we're not all the same. That's not all of us. It's not how we were all raised. Not, you know. So
we're not. But I think it's cool to see the narrative switch from like, oh, or the stereotype switch from like, oh, thug, sports player, whatever else, crackhead, to like, oh, he could be a nerd, he could be a black nerd, he could be a lawyer, he could be a president,
a business owner.
Yeah, business owner. He could be like each and every one of us. He could be in the Navy. He could be this. He could be that. You know, nah, this is how you are. This is how you're showing up. This is what you are.
Very great episode. I think before we end it all off, we're gonna give tribute to a historical figure every episode. This week, because it's we're talking about entertainment. Might as well stay in that kind of realm. I think this is one of your inspirations as well. Sidney, remind me what his last name is? Poitier. Yes.
Yeah, man.
So a little bit on Sidney. Sidney was the first African American to star in American films. He's first African American star in the films. He's from the Bahamas. Came over here. Oldest of 8 children. Won an international award, and he's the real person that kind of united, black and white audiences to start being like, hey, I'm black and I'm proud to be on camera. I'm going to show you, I'm going to be on this camera and you're going to like it. And everybody, together enjoyed it. And I think that's big. I think that's why you're able to do what you are today, because of people like him,
100%.
So, and I mean, even 100%. Martin Luther King said, he was a man of great depth, a man of great social concern. And he was also a man who was dedicated to both human rights and freedom. And, I think that's a very important thing. So just want to give a shout out to Sidney Poitier. Big for the African American culture, big for entertainment studios as well, and just big. Anybody else?
100%,
anybody got anything to say on Sidney or anything?
Oh, more good.
I think he's straight.
All right. So that's
real
gonna.
Quick as well. I just want to say, one, this is dope as hell. All y'all getting together and just having, putting this podcast together. I think this is the first episode. First episode, man. First of many. I just want to congratulate y'all. Really just let you know, like, I'm proud of y'all. Like, I know I just met Joe and Sha today, but continue to kill in your careers, man, and your life. Continue to grow, continue to stay together, and show up as the best version of yourself, man. Like, for real.
Oh, sure.
Like you say, y'all lives just starting. Like, this ain't high school anymore. So just continue to put your best foot forward and everything. And continue to dream too.
For sure.
Have you on a dream.
But yeah, I got a question. Is college more fun than high school?
Huh?
Is college better than high school?
Listen, we can have this conversation off record. We got this conversation you trying to get jammed up.
Like you said, hey, that's going to conclude the episode. Oh, go ahead. What's that?
We'll talk off camera. We'll talk off camera.
That's gonna conclude the first episode of the Everything Black podcast. Once again, special shout out to my uncle Jamad Mays. Thank you for coming out. Very much appreciated. That's gonna appreciate it. That's gonna conclude the first episode, and peace.
That's the wrap.
Love.
Peace out.